I'm going to read from my 1985 chapbook, Fairyland After Carnival, 4 American Poems. This was published Minnesota Poetry for the People Press. Here's the preface. My home is dying. Where my grandmother was born, the water of the marsh has been replaced and smothered by the trash of our white race's progress. It became a dump site. Now, above that marsh and dump, a senior high-rise sits. Our elders live out their days, isolated on a trash heap, cosmetically covered with a scabrous lawn and parking lot. They've been convinced this is the proper place for them. My home is dying. Across the street from my house is a field that had been an Indian cemetery. Just a few years ago, the last sacred mound was removed from beneath a revered oak tree. The city graded the mound flat, then dug into a hillside to erect a cement playground building and geometric play environments. Children were encouraged to collect bones and chips of bones to be turned over to the authorities. Today our children play on a completely dead cemetery. They have been convinced that this is the proper place for them. My home is dying. Less than 1,000 feet from my back door, a warehouse is filled with barrels of PCB-laden gadgetry. This is the refuse of a computerized culture. The building had been a monument shop where the granite markers were prepared for the graves in Calvary Cemetery across Front Street. The barrels have been leaking. 1 block further down, another senior high-rise perches atop another dump site. Death gathers momentum and quickly runs downhill. My home is dying. Death runs across America on James J. Hill's Empire Builder Railway tracks. The rail cars carry nuclear waste beside Calvary Cemetery, 1/4 mile from my back door. The Empire Builder himself had Victorian values. The sun never sets on the Empire. Good Christian Victorian values. Rape the earth and hide your sex. Victorian values. Take the oak trees from 1,000-year-old forests to make rail ties. Victorian values, where proper management is the key for progress. James J. Hill never needed the government to bail him out. He was the great manager. Victorian values. Survival of the fittest. I live on a street named Victoria. I live in a subdivision called Royal Oaks. I live in a city named after the great, spiteful disciple, Paul, whose evangelism was a sword for missionaries. I live near the river Mississippi, father of the waters, and its water fills with poison to empty in the ocean. I live in the heartland of America. My home is dying. Once upon a time, death was natural and a nutrient for the cultural soul. Death was respected for its true worth. Death came to the marshes, the oak trees, the elders and the children, yet everyone knew death to be part of the circle of life. Today, death arrives mechanically and powerfully evil with linear despair. My home is dying.